Right. So we'll give it a couple minutes here.
Is everybody in the room?
Yep, we just have, I think, a couple more folks who are going to come in here, and then I think we'll be good to go.
Okay, thank you. Just let me know when you're ready.
All right, Mayor, I think we're good to go.
Great, perfect. Good evening. I'm Mayor Melissa Hernandez, and I'm happy to be here with you for our quarterly live with Dublin City Council Town Hall meeting. Tonight, joining me, our newest Councilmember Kashef Qaadri. Kashef, please say hi.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining. Excited to be a part of this conversation.
So tonight we are having our Economic Development Director, Hazel Wetherford, with us. Over the past 3 years, Hazel and her team have been working tirelessly to help our business community through the pandemic. Tonight, we will hear about these efforts, as well as some of our new programs here in Dublin, while we will be rolling out and what we will be rolling out in the upcoming months, in the next few months. So with that, I'm happy to introduce Hazel. And again, I would like to say thank you for everyone joining us this evening to our live inside Dublin.
Great. Thank you, Mayor, for that warm welcome. Again, Hazel Wetherford, the city's Economic Development Director. I'm really excited to be here with you all tonight to give you an overview. So this first slide I love showing. It's an infographic, and it really talks about what economic development is. That is the #1 question that I get often from the community, from developers, from business owners, potential business owners. And our profession, the California Association of Local Economic Development, created this infographic, and I think they just did a very nice job. And so us as economic developers and how we contribute to our communities is really to make sure that our businesses are successful. And how do we do that is through here, you can see on the screen, the 3 different topics. One is resources. What kind of resources are available to our businesses? Helping them overcome barriers. Many times people have not opened a business before and they don't understand all the different codes and regulations they have to comply with, especially if they're opening a brick and mortar location, meaning a building, having a storefront for their business. And then helping them have a strategic mindset. Have they looked at the competition? Have they looked at their business plan? Have they reviewed all of those things with a mentor, a consultant, and all of the different resources that not only does the city provide, but also the state and federal government through SCORE, through the Small Business Association, and a lot of different organizations. So as we help those businesses become successful, that then translates into taxes for the city, the number of employees, new employees, full-time, part-time, and then contributing to the social fabric. Oftentimes our businesses get involved with our festivals, our events. They volunteer at a lot of our cleanup efforts, and they really get involved in the community where they reside. And so what does that mean for the community? It means those new taxes that are being invested are going towards parks, new infrastructure, public safety, quality of life. And then the cycle goes around again as we continue to help those businesses thrive in our community. So I love this infographic. It really talks about what we do as economic developers. And a simple way to put it is really to serve as a liaison or an ombudsman to the businesses and the city, because it can be daunting for a new business to come in and talk with our engineering department, talk with our fire, talk with police, talk with community development. And so we serve as that representative in helping them through the process. Next slide. So before we get started in talking about some of the programs that we put into effect to help our small businesses, I wanted to just provide some key Dublin facts, some demographics for those that may not be too familiar. So our size, you can see, is 14.59 square miles. We are lean and narrow. We run along the 580 corridor. And we have about 2,200 businesses in total in our community and 8 million plus square feet of commercial development. And as you can see below, just some facts on our employment numbers. So pre-COVID, we were about 31,600. Naturally, that dropped during COVID, 29,900. And then you can see we've exceeded our pre-pandemic numbers to now currently 33,000. Same thing with our unemployment rate. We were at a very healthy 2.4%. That naturally increased during COVID. And then we're currently back to where we were pre-pandemic at 2.4%. Next slide, please. And our population. So our total population is about 73,000. That does include group quarters. We do have Santa Rita Jail and we do have the federal prison. So if you were to remove those, well, if you were to count those are about, I want to say about 3,500 in group quarters. And so you would reduce that in looking at our total population. And then we have a very well-educated population with 67.5% of the people having a bachelor's degree or higher. And then when you look at a place for families, we are a place for families in the Tri-Valley, as you can see on the little infographic grid here. We have the youngest families here. If you can see from 0 to 24, we're about 30% in that age category. And then we go to 33% in the 25 to 44. 26, we taper off a little bit in the 45 to 64, and then 11% in the 65 plus. So we are a location for young families who are starting out and starting their first home here with their first baby and growing. Next slide. All right, household snapshot. So we have about 24,000 households in our community. Our median household income is about $174,000. And our median home sales price is about almost shy of $1.4 million. And our population, we have a large population that owns their home here, about 63%, and 37% that rent. Our average household's about 2.85 people. All right, so we want to talk about the city's actions to stimulate the economic investment coming out of the pandemic. We talked to all of our businesses. We did a survey, and then we did a boots on the ground, what we call old school economic development. And we went, myself and my team went door to door and visited all of our brick and mortar businesses. We spent about 2 weeks pounding the pavement and talking with every single business owner that we could. And that's how we developed the business recovery playbook, which is our post-pandemic strategic action plan. So all of the things we're going to discuss tonight came out of that playbook that looks at the next 2 years and how we can help our businesses. One of the very first things we did was outdoor operations, as many other communities. We were trying to help our restaurants, our food and beverage establishments operate outdoors and look at how can we allow that to happen given the parking requirements and given other regulations. We worked closely with our planning department, and we were able to launch that outdoor operations grant program and provide financial assistance to help them, because many of our businesses did not have the financial capacity. So we were able to help them with grants to provide seating, umbrellas, heaters, and a number of other furniture and equipment so that they could operate successfully outdoors. The next item was our Taste the World in Dublin Passport campaign. I personally love this because it just shows the flavor of restaurants that we have in our community. And it got our residents to participate by visiting businesses. And all you had to do was check in on your phone. And as long as you checked into 5 of the restaurants, you would receive a gift card to one of the restaurants. And that was wildly successful in highlighting all of the different restaurants that we have in our community and getting our residents to go out and support them. We also launched our Dublin Business Recovery Brief, which are electronic newsletters providing information to our businesses on hand right in the moment, whether it was public information we were sharing from our municipality or it was private sector news. There were many private sector businesses that came to the rescue of businesses like Facebook and Google and DoorDash that were providing other types of grants or marketing assistance for businesses. So we were always sharing that information right at the tip of our fingertips so that our businesses had that, because they didn't have time to do the research to learn about these opportunities. So we wanted to make sure we were giving that information to them right away. And then we also have held and continue to hold industry-focused business roundtables. So we're talking to all of our businesses in an industry setting. For example, we talked to our food and beverage establishments. We wanted to know what their concerns were and are still. We talked to our fitness businesses, all of those that are that have fitness studios, whether they're yoga or fitness equipment establishments. Next, we're going to be talking to our medical businesses, our aftercare businesses, our automotive industry, and we have these lined up every month. We talk to different industry sectors to understand what are their needs, what are we missing, how can we further assist. Next slide, please.
And Hazel, before we move forward with regards, can you put the other slide back, please, John? I think this is really important to bring forward. And I know that many of us, watching and have lived COVID the last going on 3 years is probably saying, okay, we need to be done and move forward. And I think it was really important that the business recovery playbook, there were so many businesses that were not aware of, what were their next steps. I mean, this is something that they had never been through COVID themselves either. And so they were having to re-navigate what their business plan. And so I think all of these are all the topics that are being shown on these bullet points are really important because of the fact that, not many cities did what we did. And so I think it was really important for me to highlight the fact that we really turned around and pivoted and moved forward and try to help our businesses as much as we can, especially during the very difficult times.
You're absolutely right, Mayor, and thank you for highlighting that. We launched a business spotlight series where every month we're highlighting a different small business on video, asking them the questions. And one of the things, and many of them have other locations in different communities, and one of the things that we hear over and over again is just how well receptive Dublin has been to the business community and how helpful they have been in helping them stay alive. Because yes, we as people want to be done and over with COVID, but businesses are still behind on back due rent. They're still having labor challenges. And a lot of people don't know that. Your average person wouldn't know that unless you're talking with business owners constantly. And all of these programs came together because of the need we heard from the businesses directly. So thank you for highlighting that. Next, we have additional programs and projects we put together. We launched this past year our first holiday gift guide, and through the use of ARPA funds, the American Rescue Plan Act, we were able to help subsidize that for the business community so they didn't have to pay the full price. And it was very successful. We sold out of ads, I want to say within 24 hours, and we had to expand the gift guide and double the number of pages. And we sold out of that even and had to triple. So you can see how successful and the need we're addressing. So that was our first launch of the holiday gift guide. We also, I just spoke about the business spotlight series where we're highlighting different small businesses every month with the video series. Shout out to our communications team who's helping us with that. And we already have a list of businesses that want to be interviewed. And so we are tackling those as they come. And then we're offering our free business webinars. We just got done this last week with one, and every month we're trying to tackle a different topic. We've asked the business community to submit their topics of interest to us, and then we're looking at those and providing those free webinars, as well as we're recording them and launching them on our YouTube channel so that people can go back and watch them later. And then really exciting news, things that we will be launching very soon here. One, actually, the end of this month is our loyalty rewards program, which we're calling the Dublin Marketplace. And what it is many of our communities launched gift card programs. And what we took some time to really evaluate, how could we help bring more traffic to businesses versus a one-time expense? And so the loyalty rewards program keeps the residents coming back because you're earning Dublin Marketplace dollars. So all the businesses that are participating, as a resident, you will download an app pretty soon here. We're going to get ready to launch it to the public. We're in a testing phase right now, but it's a brand new app that has a Dublin Marketplace. It's called the Dublin Marketplace, and we have all our businesses participating, and we're bringing more on every day. And they have a promotion. So if you spend $20, let's say, I think I went to Koja Kitchen, spend $20 at Koja Kitchen and get your lunch, you'll receive $5 in Dublin dollars. And then those $5, as they accumulate with all the promotions that you go and activate, you can then spend that money at any participating business. And the great thing is we're creating that foot traffic for the businesses, that continued traffic, and it's not impacting their revenues because we're using our ARPA dollars to subsidize that reward incentive. We have an amazing partner, Reach Places, and they're fantastic, and they're helping us with the app. Where, as I mentioned, we're in the testing phase now. We're trying to work out all of the bugs because it's a brand new app specifically for Dublin. And then our small business navigator program. So I'm really happy about this one because one of the things that we heard from the businesses as we spoke to them were these outliers that we couldn't address with one program. So we put our brains together and said, okay, how could we address these outliers? And we came up with the Small Business Navigator program where we're going to have a bench of consultants to help our businesses with their specific need. For example, one business had issues with their lease and they really needed some assistance understanding the legal language in their lease. One person needed help. They opened during COVID and they really need help with marketing. Another business really needs help with social media and understanding how do they create a social media presence now that there's reels and videos and all this exciting stuff. So another person had questions about AB5, the recent law that came into place where instead of being an independent contractor, you had to be an employee, and they all of a sudden felt like they needed to be an HR specialist. So we're going to create a bench of consultants in all of those different areas, and businesses can apply for the services, and we will put them in touch with a consultant. We will provide them a number of hours that they can use to talk with that person one-on-one. Again, using our ARPA funds to fund this, there's no impact to the businesses. We're helping support them, truly supporting them. And then lastly, our Dublin Business Corner, it's our on-demand video library. So a lot of businesses don't have the time to attend the webinars, and we can't cover every single topic on the webinars. So we're partnered with a business to help provide an online on-demand video series. And you can go on there and learn about a number of business related topics to help you address the need that you have in that moment, like labor challenges. What are some great incentives they could use to attract labor? Are they doing all the things that they can do in their marketing realm? How do they create a dynamic team? How do they invest in the team? So there's a number of things, and that will be launching soon as well. Next slide. Okay, and then before we get ready to close, I just want to highlight, everybody wants to be in the know. Everybody's like, what's coming, what's open? And so these are some of the new businesses that have opened in the past, I want to say 6 to 8 months. As you can see, there's a number of businesses up there. I'll just highlight a few. Mimi's Chocolates, if you haven't been there, highly recommend going. They're a confectionery shop, as well as ice cream. We have Satvik Eggless Bakery, Brava, Stratford School, Teaspoon, Crumbled Cookies. We have a wine storage in Dublin now, Express Eats, Ace Hardware, which I know the community was really excited about. And then next slide, we'll just highlight some of the coming soon. So I've heard nothing but great things about Pizza My Heart. Everybody's excited about Pizza My Heart. We have Dave's Hot Chicken, Domino's Pizza, Chick-fil-A, Five Below, AutoZone, Serendipity Labs, which is a co-working space, H Mart, Grocery Outlet, and VinFast, which is an electric vehicle company. So very excited about that. And Mayor, that really concludes my portion of the presentation, and I'll hand it back over to you.
Well, and I just want to be clear, Chick-fil-A actually needs to come forward to the council. So I know that Pizza My Heart has already
yes, that is a good
yeah.
catch, Mayor. Thank you for catching that. Chick-fil-A has not been approved. That needs to come before, yes, that needs to come before, I believe, the Planning Commission, but yes, good catch.
Correct, unless, there's further conversations at the council. But anyways, it's really exciting to be able to explain to our viewers that we have many restaurants. They may not be on one strict, Village Parkway quite yet, or on our main street. But we do have a significant amount of restaurants and businesses throughout the city of Dublin. And as you all know, and you'll probably get tired of me saying this, that we will get our downtown Dublin accomplished. And I know that that's been a plan for many, many years. And so that's when our folks will start kind of having more of a sense of saying, oh, this is our downtown, and having more retail down in like one designated area. But we have so many great retail restaurants and businesses throughout our entire city of Dublin. Sometimes you just have to either ride your bike or walk or drive to them. They're not all in one significant area. So I do want to just say, thank you, Hazel, for giving us such an excellent presentation. And we appreciate the work you and the rest of your team members do to help our local businesses thrive here in Dublin. And now we have the remainder of our time this evening for any open forum for anyone in attendance. And this is an open opportunity for you to ask us any questions or raise any concerns. So please make sure you submit your questions throughout the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. And additionally, if you would like to speak with us directly, please raise your hand. And also to any of our viewers tonight, if you have, businesses that aren't aware of the forum that we have, here on our Live Dublin, please let them know. I know that one thing that I know that you added earlier in the meeting here was with regards to what we do for our small businesses. But one thing that I do want to add that no other city does what we do is the business concierge program, Hazel. And I know that I was speaking to a member of the city of San Ramon this morning, and they're like, wait, what do you do again? And so it's great for them to, we always like to share ideas. And I think that sharing ideas or using something that's already in existence is all we can do is make it better. So I think it's great for us to be able to share our thoughts. So any questions this evening, John?
Yes, Mayor, there's one question from Richard Lee, who's asking if the slides will be available somewhere. And yes, Richard, we will have the slides uploaded, as well as a copy of this video recording will be on the city's YouTube channel as well.
So Richard, you can also go back and view our old previous meetings that we've also had, correct, John?
Yes. Yes.
We like to have different topics. That's why. So we always like to make sure that they're up there for our residents to go back and view. And sometimes you're busy tonight. So we understand that as well. And so it's important for us to be able to have those on record for our viewers too, and our residents to be able to go back.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'm not seeing any more questions. I don't know, Mayor or Councilmember, if you have any other questions for Hazel or the team.
So I'll echo the sentiments of Madam Mayor in terms of the great presentation and organization of not only this event, but all of the wonderful programs that Dublin has to offer. I also wanted to underscore the criticality of that opening slide that you have, the infographic, the intersection between the community and the businesses, right? That intersection around the social fabric, right? Having small businesses, local businesses is really important for a number of reasons. And I like the way that you've highlighted that. So thank you. Can we do round robin favorite restaurant in Dublin?
Oh, that's a hard one because you're going to put, well, I already know which one's my favorite, but I love a lot of our businesses here, and I'm sure Hazel knows it would probably be Market Tavern in Amakara. Those are my favorite restaurants, but I love all the other restaurants here as well. I mean, I can only have Casper hot dogs one time a year because it's not very healthy for me. But honestly, we have just so many great restaurants that try to venture out. I know that Amalfi is down Village Parkway, and I just had dinner the other day there. And so we really want to encourage our residents to go back out there. And I don't think I really ever stopped eating while I was during COVID, and I kept going to these restaurants. Hence the extra 10 pounds that I've gained, but definitely very supportive, not only here in our Dublin restaurants, but also in the Tri-Valley. What are yours?
So I'm going to go with my son's favorite. He's a sushi guy. So his favorite is now Ari Sushi down the street from us. So I'll go with that one.
I'll have to try that.
To your point, there are a lot of really great restaurants. And I certainly appreciate the diversity of all the restaurants, not only in Dublin, but as you mentioned, in the Tri-Valley.
Absolutely. So again, we want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. I know that people are busy and we hope to keep these going, but we also would love to have more supporters online with us when we have these, so that many of our viewers and our residents can ask us questions. We're always here to answer questions. And so our next live meeting with Dublin City Council is scheduled for Monday, April 3rd, this year at 6 o'clock. And we will see you then. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Take care.